She'd talk, 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 talk,
Yeah,
talk,
yes, yes,
talk, 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 talk.
yes,
It was hard
yes,
to get a breath in, and
yes,
it would be all kinds of stories. Sometimes
yes,
it's like, when is this going to end? I don't know the
yes.
person that you're talking about. None of this is relevant to the situation. But she's like, she makes me feel like, you understand, I didn't always have people who would listen to me. And so when I got
Yeah.
around people who would, it was like just her mouth like this,
Yes, yes.
Oh my God. I just feel like I have this other woman here who's younger. She wouldn't have passed at grandparent age at all. It feels somewhere a little past middle age. Okay, do you have an aunt who passed on your mother's side, like a mother's sister? Okay, you know your aunt quite well. I feel like this was quite devastating passing as well because she's given me this feeling that it was tragic, if you understand that. She makes me feel that she passed before her time. It does feel as it was an illness of the body. Do you understand that as well?
Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
so
it
not like
wasn't like a slow thing, it was fast, yeah.
yeah. That okay, that must be why she's giving me snap of fingers then, right? So there's something swift, unexpected, quickly about it, right? But it was an illness of the body, is what she's making me feel. Oh my God, so much love to your mom because they were this. Do you understand that? It makes me feel like I'm like everybody's rushing to get to her. Do you understand this? And there's planes and there's cars. Everybody's rushing to get there. And I feel like I want to acknowledge this. Like I know that everybody tried to get there to say goodbye to me. It was very hectic at the end. I feel like as her that I can't say certain things that either means unresponsive or it means words left unspoken. So one of those would make sense to you. Okay.
Probably words left unspoken.
Okay. She's showing me almost a movie of someone who may be your mom, and your mom's saying, I'm just so sorry that I didn't get there. I'm so sorry. Do you understand that? That your mom's saying this about it? Because
Yeah,
saying it out loud, and she's so, I mean, horribly upset, of course. She felt such guilt and remorse or sadness about not being able to be there. It's specifically for your mom too. And she wants you to tell your mom not to have any feelings about that. Because as you understand, I know the effort, but even if there wouldn't have been effort, I wouldn't have been mad. Maybe when I was here, I would have seemed like that kind of person, but when I'm gone, no. Do you understand that? Because she's just like, as soon as I say that, she's like, but what you have to include is that I probably would have been that way incarnated, is the thing. Okay, I'm glad you understand that. She's just like,
yes,
she makes me feel like I'm like almost howling for your mom. I like desperately am like, I need you to get here. I need you to get here. I need you to get here. Do you understand that? Did they have a phone call where she was like, please come as fast as you can? Because there's something in her before she passed that desperately wanted to see your mom again.
my aunt's husband did have that phone call with my mom.
Ah, now I understand. Seems like there's a phone call. You got to get here. You got to get here. You got to get here. And then your
Yeah,
mom, when she didn't, was like absolutely devastated, felt like she left something down. It feels
yeah,
like she hasn't let go of it.
yeah,
Also, it's been a long time where she's like, this is the thing I have to live with for the rest of my life.
yeah,
And your aunt's literally her first message is all about this. Just tell her you've got to let this go.
yeah,
It's so inconsequential. And the reason it's so inconsequential is because we had an entire life together. And you're making my memory all about a last moment that we didn't even share.
right.
That's exactly how she has to hear it. You can play this for her.
Okay,
Don't make my whole life about the final moment when we weren't even together, because that's not representative of how we were.
right.
Your aunt's got some sass. Do you understand this?
Yes,
Oh my Lord, this woman packs a punch.
yes.
She packs a punch. And
Hmm.
she likes things a certain way. You understand that? This is
Yes,
a highly opinionated woman. She likes her house a certain way. You understand?
yes,
She likes
yes,
to decorate things a certain way. She likes the way eye candy is important to her, is the way that I have to say
yes,
it, right?
yes.
And relationships are important to her. Now, she says it's okay for me to say this. I'm sorry that I laid on the guilt sometimes in life. Do you understand that? Because the thing is, she loved really hard, but she gave love. Sometimes it was a little overbearing, but the thing is, she wanted it back the same way that she got it. And if she didn't get it back the same way that she gave it, then sometimes that meant she was unloved. And then the guilt. Do you understand this? This is an acknowledgement of something I literally just didn't see it the way that it felt for people when I was here. because for me, it was a desperate need to feel loved. And she says that comes from something else that your mom will most definitely understand. She says you actually understand as well. There's something about unrequited love here that has been painful for her. And she'd never wanted to feel that again. And so for her, it's like she just desperately needed something from others that she struggled throughout her whole life to really give to herself. And so she tried to fill it from the outside a little bit more. And then sometimes she laid on the guilt because that was the only way that she really understood how to get those needs met.
Mhm.
And your mother would say, you know how she is. She would be totally
Yeah.
upset that I wasn't there. You know that's how she feels. And she says that she's coming through to say these things right now so that your mom knows she's really here. And yes, I totally acknowledge that's how I would have been. But you have to understand that already I have done a massive amount of growth and of understanding that last instance, because the other thing is from here, I can see the pain that it causes you. And
Yeah.
that's not what I want. And to be honest, I need to apologize for the fact that if I could go back and do it again, knowing what I know now, I would love my family better by taking guilt out of the equation. And I would also accept the love that they give, however they give it, and let that fill me up. Because there's an unrequited love thing here. There's like a lot of like tricky stuff that she went through that made her feel unworthy, not good enough. She almost says like not attractive enough, which is kind of interesting to me or something like that there's feeling because she likes to dress things up. She likes things to look nice. And I'm
Mhm.
not saying that she's superficial, there's a lot to her,
Mhm.
but there's something about covering up the wounds, if you understand that. And that's just the best way that I knew how to cope, as you know.
Mhm.
She's saying that I'm making her sound more eloquent with her language than she actually would have been. She's
That's
like,
all right.
she's like, you understand that Mel is pretty well spoken with her words. Thank you. That is so nice. I've worked hard on it. You got to be good at it as a medium. And she's like, well, just so you know, you're giving me a shorter word count. Because she talk, 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 talk,
Yeah.
talk,
Yes. Yes.
talk, 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 talk.
Yes.
It was hard
Yes.
to get a breath in, and it
Yes.
would be all kinds of stories. Sometimes
Yes.
it's just like, when is this going to end? I don't know the
Yes.
person that you're talking about. None of this is relevant to the situation. But she's like, she makes me feel like, you understand, I didn't always have people who would listen to me. And so when I got
Yep.
around people who would, it was like just her mouth like this,
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you. Because you are so patient. Do you understand that? Inside, I know that you talked to someone else about like, will she ever shut up? And there were times where you were like, she's laughing about it right now too, by the way. It does not hurt her feelings at all from over here, but she's just saying there were times where you said like, Mom, I just can't today. I don't have it in me. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry if I would have known. But I'm not that sorry. I'm not that
Right.
sorry because I wasn't like that. More, I just feel grateful that you put up with me. But the thing is, I felt really lonesome sometimes. You knew that,
Yeah.
didn't you? I didn't
Yeah.
think you knew. You know that I always thought I covered everything up really well. I always thought everybody only saw like this projection of me.
Yeah.
I completely underestimated you. It was humiliating and embarrassing. The amazing thing she says about you is that not only did you see who she really was, but you had a lot of compassion for it, even in the moments where you're like, Mom, I can't. Wait, do you have a husband right now?
No, we're getting, well, yes, and we're officially getting married in August.
Okay, because
I
I
mean,
was
like
like,
we're pre-married. We already got married, but we're having the official, like, friend
gotcha.
wedding.
Because I was like, she's talking about your husband right now. And when you said we're getting, I was like, it can't be a divorce because she is raving about this relationship.
Right.
Okay. She makes me feel like I have to say, I wish I had something like that. Do you understand? I wish I had had something like that. Because this woman either was alone or divorced or had had a very tricky unrequited love or friction in her marriage or something. Do you understand? It has got to be on the romantic level that she feels she went through the ringer.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did.
And she says, what you have is what I always wanted. And it's one of the things that just put this hand on my back to desperately try to get love wherever I could because I always felt like, what is it about me? Am I not worthy? Am I not lovable? What is it? I know that I talked too much and that was part of it. I knew that I came on too strong, but I didn't know how to change that.
Yeah.
I had no idea how to change that. But what you have, and the thing is, I want you to know when I was here, I probably would have felt a little bit envious and a little bit sad. At the same time, I'd be happy for you. But now from over here, I don't feel that void. And so I'm entirely celebrating that you have something fantastic. And I will be there.
Mm.
Okay, she's also shown me an 8 by 10 picture, okay, of her that's on a stand. A lot of times this is in reference to a memorial that would have been had for them after they passed, if you understand that. And
Mhm,
she would have had a picture, I believe, that was there as
mhm,
well. There's several women. There's a woman who gave the eulogy, it makes me feel.
mhm,
And then there's other women who spoke about her too, because there's all these women in the family. Do you understand that piece?
mhm.
She says that you guys kept some humor in it as well. Like you joked about the things that she did, and she's like, that makes me so happy because once you get over here, you don't want the people there to struggle. You don't.
Right.
And you talked about the humorous parts of myself, even told some jokes about me. And I enjoyed that piece, and I also felt loved watching. I felt like there were such great memories and things. Your mom talked about them when they were kids. Do you understand that piece?
Mhm,
Because your mom was always close and devoted to her. She always tried to take care of her sister and make sure that she was okay, even though your mom was very different from her sister in some ways. It feels like
mhm,
me too, because there's like a fulfillment from your mom, and then there's like a needing from the sister. And I think in some ways your mom's sister always kind of felt like she was trying to live up to something, and that was hard, if you
mhm.
understand. What you and your mom have had, this kind of family that you have, is something she desperately, desperately wanted her whole life, and it just didn't happen. That was always going to be one of my lessons when I came here, was learning how to find that.
Mhm.
The problem was that I'm learning is that I looked outside of myself instead of finding it within myself and finding a deeper connection. And that's why she brings up that some of these things seem more peripheral or superficial in some ways. But you know that there was so much to me and there was a lot of love inside of me, but I really struggled. And sometimes that made me hard or harsh is the word that
Yeah,
I'd have to say in a way that sometimes hurt your mom's feelings.
yeah.
And I just want to, please tell her I'm sorry. But she had an understanding of me. It's almost humiliating, except that I wouldn't say spirit feels that way, but that's how they would describe, like, if she had known when she was here how well understood and seen and known she was by the rest of the family, she would have felt humiliated because she thought that she hid a lot more of those hurts by being larger and louder. And thank you for loving me anyway, because your whole family knows how to do unconditional love, and you learned that. But I didn't feel like I had the privilege of learning that in quite the same way, but you still granted it to me. And I didn't even acknowledge it all the time because I didn't know what that looked like, which is why I went looking for it in all the wrong places and kept thinking that I had it. She makes me feel like I kept thinking I had it, and then I realized I didn't.
Yeah.
It made me feel even worse because it was like I'm back where I started again, you know? And I'm sharing this now is because it's not because I'm sad or I'm in pain any longer at all. I'm not in those things. I'm in a lot of peace. But please just tell your mom as well,
Yeah.
and everyone else who it will affect. And I'm grateful to you personally too for the way that you put up with me and the way that you accepted who I was and saw who I was. Um, but please tell her just no more guilt about this
Yeah.
because you're just wasting your time. I want you to start remembering all the things about me that were so fun and
Yeah.
hilarious at my expense. That's fine. I don't mind.
It's,
Laugh about those things. Keep
it's so
laughing
true.
about those things.
It's so true.
Yeah, it's totally at my expense, most of the
Yeah.
jokes.
Yes.
Making fun of the fact that I was just out of control. So,
Yes.
I mean, I'd rather that.
Yeah.
In fact, I like that now because I
Yeah.
can look at that and I can laugh, which is completely out of character. I understand. But from here, everything looks very different. The only thing I'm going to get irritated about is if she hangs on to that memory more than all the other ones. So tell her to let it go, damn
Okay.
it. I know that your people could stay here and talk forever, but for right now, I'm going to leave you
I
with their
know.
mom.
It's
Okay?
okay. Yeah. You definitely got my family. I mean, you definitely got the bird's eye view of my family really well. Welcome to Thanksgiving and Christmas every year.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my
it,
God.
it honestly, it feels really good to. My aunt was really hard sometimes,
Yeah.
and uh, said some really mean things to me as a kid. And but she did it because she thought she was like kidding, you
Yeah.
know. And so hearing that is really, like, I've been working so hard to like release some of that stuff. So it's really nice to hear that because it's further help to release it. You know what I mean? For good. And I know that mom has been really hanging on to the fact that she couldn't get there in time for her sister's death. And I know that still bugs her to this day. And I know that that will make her feel really good.